Welcome back to another UFC fight prediction video. In this video, I'll be predicting the prelim fights for UFC 237, Namajunas versus Andrade, as I've already predicted the main card fights in my prior video. So you want to listen to those or you want to watch those predictions, then just check out my last video or my prior video, my previous video to this one. But without further ado, let's get into our predictions for the prelim. So in our first fight, we have in the women's flyweight division, Bernardo versus Viviane Araujo. So I don't know if this fight's been contested at bantamweight or flyweight, but wherever the case is, Araujo is coming in on short notice, 3 days notice. She's facing a bigger fighter who has fought in the bantamweight division, is 1-2 at that weight class, but she at least has fought much better competition. I think Araujo is the more well-rounded fighter, but again, 3 days notice coming against a larger fighter who has much more experience at this level, or at least has experience at this level. I think overall, Bernardo has fought a much better competition between the two, but I feel Araujo's the more well-rounded fighter. But whatever the case, to get to the point, I just think 3 days notice is too short of a notice, especially coming up to fight a fighter who has fought pretty much 2 weight classes above you. And on short notice, it's not going to be a good adjustment. I think Bernardo uses her veteran experience. I think she's the better grappler in this fight, even though Araujo's the better well-rounded fighter. I think the grappling's going to be the tell of this fight. I think Bernardo's able to get the takedowns, use the technique, the time, control time to edge the fight. I think Araujo's going to be a tough, scrappy fighter, but Bernardo's grappling is going to be able to edge the fight for her in this fight. So in this fight, I got Bernardo via decision. Now on to our next fight we have in the bantamweight division, Barcelos versus Carlos Huachin. So let's get straight to the point of this matchup right here. I think Huachin hasn't really fought the best competition, and he's going against a guy who's much more well-rounded, much more solid, way better in every area than him, and has fought way better competition. Huachin's been fighting guys like just above 500 or well below 500 or just at 500. And that's really his whole resume. And whereas Barcelos has been fighting a lot of, prospects coming into the UFC and have been doing well. And he's beating a lot of guys like Bobby Moffett, et cetera, et cetera. He's been fighting like Dan Moret. A lot of guys that came to the UFC had like decent success, and he's went out there and beating them and stopped a couple of them as well. And Huachin has been fighting literal cans. So basically, get to the point, Barcelos via first round TKO. Now to our next fight we have in the welterweight division, Alves versus Sergio Moraes. So both guys are veterans of the UFC, both Brazilian, I believe. Yeah, both Brazilian for sure. Moraes has the grappling advantage for sure, being a several-time BJJ world champion. Alves has the striking advantage. Cardio advantage goes to Moraes. But in this fight, I feel like Alves does have significant takedown defenses, about 80%, and he's been in there with guys like Kobe Covington and Kamaru Usman. I think one of the guys he fought just recently, his last win was over a guy who is a solid wrestler as well. I think he held him to just under 3 takedowns and was able to stop him in the second round. I think all those guys have better takedown offense than Sergio Moraes. And as far as Alves' cardio, I don't think Sergio Moraes is necessarily a pressuring type of fighter that he's going to be in your face all that time to absorb, just drain you of your cardio. He kind of throws winging one-punch shots. He doesn't really throw volume. He does maybe wing 1 shot, wing 2 shots, but really just winging shots, not really doing a jab, mixing in volume, just 1 or 2 shots at a time. So Alves' cardio shouldn't be too big an issue going into this fight, and his takedown offense is solid enough to stifle Moraes' takedown. I really think Alves keeps on the feet and just tags him up. And certainly Moraes is a tough guy, but I think Alves has a lot of power, and I think he stops him in the second round. It's going to be a good fight, but Alves keeps it on the feet, tags him up, keeps it in his realm or where he's stronger at, and is able to take Moraes out of it. So in this fight, I got Alves via second round TKO. Now to our next fight we have in the women's flyweight division, Luana Carolina versus Priscilla Cachoeira. So looking at these two fighters right here, Cachoeira has the more experience in the UFC, or more experience in the UFC inside the octagon. But she's 0-2 in the UFC. She impressed me in her first fight in the UFC. In her second fight, not so much, but she still showed that same heart, the same grit, but still not the most technical improvement. When I look at Luana Carolina, just coming off the Contender Series, I already saw that she has a good jab. She has at least cleaner striking technique, more variety, more value, more understanding of the techniques, whereas Priscilla Cachoeira is more so this plotting, tough fighter. She doesn't really have the much cleanest technique, but she will take a good shot. She will keep coming at you. But when you got a fighter that's your same height, a little bit longer with the reach, and is able to use that reach, and has more value, more output. And it's not like Cachoeira is a knockout puncher. She doesn't really have the heaviest hands. She's really going to be walking to a lot of jabs, be getting angled off, and be getting hit to the body, getting hit to the head, and jab, and really getting outworked. it's still gonna be a competitive fight because like with a fighter like Cachoeira, she's plotting for it. She's going to bring the fight to you, but Carolina's volume and her cleaner technique is going to win the fight for her. So in this fight, I have Luana Carolina via decision. Now on to our next fight, we have in the lightweight division, BJ Penn versus Clay Guida. In this fight, I don't know why it's happened. It's just disgusting. But to get to the point, BJ Penn has looked awful for his last couple fights. And Clay Guida, though, he might not be in the prime of his career either. He at least look like he can stick around, especially with certain style matchups. He can look like he's prime Clay Guida, especially with fighters who deal bad with wrestlers or deal bad with pressure or both. Clay Guida can certainly stick around and probably still be top 30 or top 40 at lightweight, top 20 at featherweight. And so Clay Guida at least like he's still game, whereas BJ Penn just looks completely shot. And just based off that, and Clay Guida's grind him to an ugly decision, just where BJ Penn looks terrible once again. So in this fight, I got Clay Guida via decision. Now on to our next fight we have in the women's bantamweight division, Irene Aldana versus Beth Correia. So Beth is the underdog in this fight, but this fight is a very close toss-up fight in my opinion. Beth Correia is by far the best fighter Irene Aldana has fought inside her career. But she's been inactive for about 2 years. Her last fight was getting head kicked by Holly Holm and hasn't fought since. Irene Aldana has been active. She has the height, she has the reach. She throws more volume. She has that jab. She has some solid boxing. And Beth Correia is really not the best grappler per se. She's not going to be in there trying to take you down, be trying to get up under you and lay on you. So that should really keep it in Irene Aldana's toolkit or in her wheelhouse. And Beth Correia has been active, so her cardio is not going to be there. I think that's really one of the biggest keys in this fight is Beth Correia's inactivity. If she was more active, the odds might be closer. She might even be favored. But just based off that inactivity, I think she's going to be walking a lot of jabs, be walking a lot of straights. And she's not going to be as sharp as she wanted to be. Her cardio is not going to be as sharp. She's not going to be able to push that pace. And I think really around that mid part of that second round, Irene Aldana is going to start to push past her and start to outwork her, start to outthrow her, outland her. And just really outwork Beth Correia because she's not going to have that same cardio because she's been inactive. She's not going to have that same sharpness because she's been inactive. And I think her style doesn't really, not really the strongest suit against Irene Aldana. It kind of matches up well for Irene Aldana. So close competitive fight. But the activity of Aldana being more active is going to win the fight for her. So in this fight, I have Irene Aldana via decision. Now on to our co-prelim headliner we have in the lightweight division, Thiago Moises versus Kurt Holobaugh. You got 0-4 in the UFC versus 0-1 in the UFC. Kurt Holobaugh came to the UFC like 2012, 2013 and lost both his fights. Came back in 2018 or 2019 and had lost both his fights. And now he's got a fifth opportunity now. And Thiago Moises just came to UFC this year. Short notice, got dominated by Beneil Dariush. But whatever the case, how these fighters match up, I think Thiago Moises is the more well-rounded fighter. Kurt Holobaugh is certainly his game. He's coming up in weight. He has some fast hands. He has some good technique. He's a solid fighter. He should be good enough to get a win in UFC. Just not seem like he will. He has a big head, T-Rex arms, long torso, and baby legs. But he's a very game guy. But because of that frame, his defense isn't the best because he got those baby arms and a big head. He can't really block nothing. But that being said, the truth, whether it be jokes or truth, it is the truth. But really, I think Thiago Moises is the more well-rounded fighter in every area. His technique's cleaner. His jiu-jitsu's better. I think he could beat Holobaugh. I think Holobaugh might be more technical coming up, maybe just a little bit. Definitely with those fast hands, they'll be even faster coming up. But he hasn't really showed the most power outside of dropping Shane Burgos. Outside of that, he hasn't really shown too much power inside his UFC fights. But he did impress me more with his losses than Holobaugh. Holobaugh impressed me more with his losses than Moises did with his his decision loss to Dariush. But other than that, I think Thiago Moises has just the cleaner fighter, the better fighter overall, and that's why he's gonna win. I think it's gonna be a tough, competitive fight, but Moises grinds out the decision. So in this fight, I got Thiago Moises via decision. Now on to our prelim headliner we have in the light heavyweight division, Antonio Nogueira versus Ryan Spann. So I won't say Nogueira because you might get confused with other Nogueira, but Little Nog has been having a weird type of career for a long time. Way back since he came in on that Rampage versus Rashad card or Rashad versus Rampage card and fought whatever the guy name is, that fireman. He has been having a weird career. It's been he fights once a year or once every 2 or 3 years. and he's already came to UFC and had, was already old when he came into UFC, and has been fighting like once or twice, not like once every couple years, once a year or once every couple years, and been active. And it's not like he's getting any younger. He's found success and been able to stick around just to not being that active. He's been able to find success in some fights, but he's never been able to find consistent success inside the UFC due to inactivity, due to the level of competition, and due to this, due to that. But he's getting old. I think he's about 43 now, 44. So it's definitely up there in age. His skill set is not really evolving. He always had solid boxing, but his chin's certainly not as durable as it used to be. He's probably going to be less durable now, and he's been inactive. Is coming off a win, but really I think in this fight, Ryan Spann is the younger, fresher fighter in this fight. Had some sharp elbows, good in the clinch. I don't think Nogueira's going to make it a grappling match. I don't think his takedown offense has ever been that good, especially at this age. He probably got some bad hips, so his takedown offense is going to be a little bit, not going to be as sharp. So he's probably not even going to try. It's probably going to be a boxing match. And I think really Ryan Spann gets him in the clinch, and he has sharp elbows and able to tear him up in the clinch. Then finish him off with some ground and pound. I think it happens in the first round. So in this fight, I had Ryan Spann to be a first round TKO. And that concludes my fight predictions for the prelims of UFC 237, Namajunas versus Andrade. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and come back for more videos. Peace.